It's the Bengals and the Ravens on Sunday night.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League takes us to the Queen City of Cincinnati and Paul Brown Stadium right on the banks of the Ohio River. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. Brandon Gaunt alongside Charles Davis. CD, you look at the Ravens in this matchup. They think they can run the football in this one, but there's a group on the other sideline that thinks otherwise.
Yeah, it's always intriguing when you pit an offense against a defense that seems like they can cancel each other out. We've got a top 5 rushing offense against a top 5 defense. So a lot of times it comes down to execution and maybe a little bit of that, what coaches call want to.
McPherson about ready to get this going as we are underway now from Paul Brown Stadium. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. Number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
And for how good he is throwing the ball, it's his running that makes him so dangerous. He had a couple of touchdowns on the ground in last week's game, so we'll see what they dial up for him for this one.
The drive will start with an option going left. And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now. A collegiate star here in the Buckeye State, it's J.K. Dobbins. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Trey Hendrickson with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7. The defense is always talking about not letting Lamar Jackson get comfortable. A good job there on his opening drive of making him uncomfortable.
And you're talking about doing it so early in the game because all week long, there's been anxiety on the defensive side of the ball. How do we keep this guy hemmed in? How do we tackle him? To get it done that early, that's got to feel great for them.
A nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. So now you've got their offense coming out for the first time with great initial field position. They're led out by last season's comeback player of the year in his 3rd season now. It's Joe Burrow.
I love this quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Again, it's Mixon. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers down.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Now, how about that? Defensive coordinator perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz. and the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
So on is the lefty, Kevin Huber, to kick it away for the Bengals here on 4th down. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give them a short yardage situation here for second down. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. The decision to keep it turns out to be a good one. 11 yards in the first down. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that. And here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game. And all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
Now Jackson on first down. That's caught. It's DeMarcus Robinson.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Play action. It's Jackson. And that'll be caught by the big tight end, Andrews. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. From the 45 on 2nd down, Jackson. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Now Jackson taps this forward, jet sweep. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. Nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him. And
he hits the upright, but it caroms in anyway. Boy, plenty of distance there as he banks it in. And the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. Distance wasn't the problem, but he did need some help from the right upright, and he got it. A little kiss and in.
Yeah, unfortunately caught on the inside of the upright, and that pushed it through. This isn't like a baseball foul pole where you hit any part of it and it counts. It's got to go through the post. If he hits it on the outside, that's no good.
The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. And right now they're in that number 2 spot. They would love to hold on to that, but obviously first things first. They want to clinch the division.
And that's what everyone plays for. Win your division first, guarantees you a spot in the playoffs. But still, a nice spot to be in. Not as good as it was when the number 2 seed meant a first-round bye. That's all changed with the new playoffs.
He's got a man, complete. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
Here we go, here we go.
Throwing now, Burrow on first down. He's got his big tight end. That's Hurst. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
And he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Another try for Mixon, and he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Flush to his right. And this is going to be intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it. The defense looked geared up to stop the run, but obviously, Charles, they were ready for the pass, too.
Yeah, they were hoping they could catch everyone crashing and playing the run, but that was a very ill-advised throw right there. The opportunity, lost.
The Ravens ready to take over. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. The throw here to Andrews, the tight end. He's up to the 20, and they work this out past the 25. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. These two teams met in Cincinnati earlier in the year with the Bengals coming out on top. So a win here in Cincinnati would give them the season sweep 2-zip. To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over it that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
As expected, he's gone to him several times in this game, but that's the first time one has slipped from his grasp. I bet he goes back to him, though. He's an excellent player.
Jackson will throw again. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field.
Here we go.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points. But then and that's caught inside the 30. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Burrow looking to pass. And he'll spot Higgins open left side. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
On 1, ready?
Looking to throw again on second down. Burrow. And that one complete once again to Higgins. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Not quite enough to get into the end zone, but what a nice play there. He makes the catch, tries to turn upfield and get to the byline, but doesn't quite get there. But they're going to be set up with a first and goal from very short range.
11 MP, hey!
Mixon is in. Touchdown, Bengals. He had the option to hand that football off. I think it's safe to say that he made the right decision. That was a heck of a run.
It certainly was, and when you mentioned the option, most people think the quarterback's not going to keep the ball. You know, in the NFL, that's usually not the recipe for being around too long. So when you do keep it, it often surprises the heck out of a defense.
Evan McPherson now for the PAT. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in second and long yardage.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on second and 14. Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. And he'll take this to about the 24, a gain of 3.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
On third down, Jackson. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss. I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
Here's Hill on the return. A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
On 1, right? 11.
Mixon with a first down carry. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Again, it's Mixon. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. To the sideline, he's got the catch, and he kept the feet in bounds. Well done. Great way to convert on third down there. 21 yards the play. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Here's Burrow. That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Jamar Chase, his 21st touchdown of the season. And they're able to add on to their advantage. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here.
And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
After review of the play.
So they called it a touchdown originally. This will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. So that drive of 4 plays. And it was Jamar Chase who finished it off with a touchdown reception. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback. And they'll begin at the 25. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. Game clock at 2:01. Time for one final play before the 2-minute warning. They'll start out here with the option left. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
First down now, but the clock continues to move. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Chidobe with a pick. And the Bengalsons are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A good pickup there of 20 yards. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers, he's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. On 3rd and 1, Burrow. Open man, it's complete to Higgins. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Burrow trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports.
Only 30 minutes left in the regular season, and everybody's excited for the playoffs, so we're just going to forget the halftime show and get back to the football. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. And the Bengal offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
On 2nd and a couple, Burrow. And he whips that one incomplete there.
I certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Now it's Burrow. Got a man, it's Chase, he completes it. And he is going to have a Bengals first down, and he's going to have it by plenty, able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And we got a pause following the play because it appears a member of the Bengals in some discomfort. Well, week 18, this is just when you hope everybody can get through the regular season healthy, but the medical staff is going to have to take a look here, and we'll step aside. Now Burrow on first down. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get, because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
They'll wind up getting 10 back there, as it'll leave them with a 3rd and 5.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. McPherson's kick is good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. And they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. The drive will start with an option going left. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. A give up the middle to Dobbins. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Jackson. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
If we go back to the last series, remember their coverage allowed them to get a turnover in the last drive, a takeaway. That helped contribute to a sack on this one. I think maybe this quarterback's a little bit hesitant. Last time he turned it over, now he sees his zone coverage a little bit slow to get rid of the football.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Burrow's throw here on target to Hurst. On the move past the 40. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
That's another beautiful throw right there. It gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another 1st down there.
Meanwhile, Burrow's throw here into the hands of Boyd. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And Burrow going to throw again. And he'll find Chase on the right side complete. The LSU connection. Burrow to Chase for the Cincinnati first.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Dumps it off to Mixon. A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the 2nd half.
This is caught. So the completion gets him just a yard. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down. A little tough on the secondary there. In zone defensively. Quarterback had time to survey and find a spot.
Here we go. And if you want to change things up and put a little more pressure on him, you can go to man coverage. Everyone matches up and send.
That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown Cincinnati. Jamar Chase. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Bengals have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. McPherson now for the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it was Jamar Chase who finished it off with a touchdown reception. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And As you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the gun, Jackson. And that will be incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. Joe Burrow trots out again with the rest of his offense. And the numbers for the last drive, and he was perfect, which maybe isn't surprising because he has not missed a pass in this game yet.
And it lets you know just how precise things have to be for a quarterback to be perfect, because that means the line's blocking really well, no one's dropping any of the passes thrown to them, and the quarterback is accurate. It's almost like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter or a perfect game, isn't it? He's the principal guy, but he needs a lot of help.
Time to find out if he can keep that perfect game going here, partner.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And we got a pause following the play because it appears a member of the Bengals in some discomfort. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. He will find his man Chase complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 42. A gain there of 21 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era. We think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon. 62 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Here we go.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Burrow will throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
Throw left side complete to Chase. And he is going to have the Bengals first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
Here we go, here we go. 11.
They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's exactly what you're looking for at the inside linebacker spot. Versatility. He can drop into coverage, or as he did on that last play, use his speed to get to the perimeter and knock the ball carrier for a loss.
On 2nd and 11 now. Burrow. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Burrow. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And the Ravens are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. So the ball changing hands on the interception, but meanwhile here we do have an injury on the play. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 37. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Rolling to his right.
Open man is Duvernay.
And he's got room.
And he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10.
A big play there on the catch and run. 57 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation.
They'll run with Dobbins.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
Dancing to his left. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down.
And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown.
A great effort there with touchdown number 12 on the year.
And the Ravens are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that cuts the lead to 24-10.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Well, don't look now, but they've got a little bit of a battle on their hands again. Back to a 2-score game. The interception that led to a touchdown. You'd have to think they're a little more careful here if they do indeed try to throw the football.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised by the last throw. You know, that type of throw with this type of a game, I would be very careful about it. Maybe the only throw you make is maybe a toss to your halfback or something like that. Otherwise, take care of the thing and finish this bad boy off.
Back to Mixon on 1st down. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
83 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Now it's Burrow.
He's going to have the hook up here to Chase.
And he'll be dropped at the 36. It's a good gain of 18 on a play that originated back at the 18. They have the nice cushion. They just won't pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers.
Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. Now this is just the last thing you want to see in the final week of the regular season. Hope he's okay. We'll step aside and be right back.
Now it's Mixon running right. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Now Burrow. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Marcus Williams.
And the Ravens are right back in this football game.
That's a beautiful read there by the safety. It's zone coverage, so he's just going to sit back and watch. He knows he can't get beat deep because he has the end line to protect him. So he can react to everything in front of him, and he makes a great break on the football and comes down with the interception.
Jackson and the Ravens, here they come. Down by 2 touchdowns. A little under 2.5 to go. The turnover does give them life, but they still need 2 scores. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Chidobe with a pick. And the Bengals are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. They have to like the position that they are in. Fourth quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. He gets this one to Boyd. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. From the 45 on second down, Burrow. And that's caught one more time by Boyd. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Burrow to Boyd there for the Cincy first. Probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this fourth quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Boyd. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
Here we go, here we go.
Again, it's Burrow. That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Jamar Chase. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Bengals look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the fourth quarter after that one, CD. And he looked right off the line like he knew. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed. And we'll get a review of this being inside. So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the officials saw as this play will stand as is. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
Tucker with the extra point, and the lead will be cut down to 14. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. And this is going to be snuffed out. The Bengals recover. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. First down. Here's Burrow. Looking for Chase on the out route. He's got him. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. 10 yards is the pickup there, and that should just about put a bow on this one. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Mixon will try the right side. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. Burrow looking to pass. That's complete to the tight end Sample. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game.
Here we go.
Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down. And it's caught. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Here's Burrow. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Not the 1st and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And a little bit of a surprise they lose the turnover battle, but wind up winning the ballgame.
And this is very unusual because you know all teams stress winning the turnover battle as a key indicator to winning ball games. So when you get something that goes against the grain like the one we saw here, it's quite the oddity. Now let's face it, they'll be very happy that they pulled this off, but they do know that in the future they've got to work on taking care of the football because this won't happen very often.
So for Cincinnati, a win here in Week 18 means they'll finish off the regular season at a very strong 12-5. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, the loss means they finish with a mark of 10 wins and 7 losses. And it's going to be finger-crossing time as we await the final shakedown of this year's playoff picture.